Good day, everyone. My name is Lucia, and I'm here to report to you on forest fires in Spain 2012. I'm here to discuss briefly the effects of deforestation and the warming of the European biosphere. We're here to discuss briefly the forest fires that happen in Spain and what kind of impact do climate changes are having in the global temperatures rising. During the last decade, we have been experiencing record temperatures, having the warmest years on record since 10,000 years ago. This year is no exception, as the temperatures are in the rise according to most weather and climate monitoring centers. Overall, the 2012 global land and ocean temperature during January to October 2012 was estimated to be 45 degrees plus more or less 10 degrees Celsius above the 1961 to 1990 average. So we have been experiencing a significant increase on global land temperature. This is the ninth warmest period since the records began documented in Spain since 1850. Global average temperatures have been estimated using model-based reanalysis data and are typically consistent with ongoing observations. According to reanalysis data from the European Centre for Medium-Range Weather Forecast, the January-October 2012 global land and ocean temperature anomaly ranks amongst the top 10 warmest years so far. Last summer, Spain experienced the driest season in the last 70 years, with record temperatures of over 40 degrees Celsius. More than 2,500 acres of woodland were ravaged in Cortes de Paya in Valencia last summer. The Canary Islands were also no exception, with forest fires that ravaged the Gomera Island, and thousands of citizens had to be evacuated. In the areas of Macanes, Alicante, El Cobillo de la Uceda, near Guadalajara, and near the village of Vega de Casales, in the Barco de Valdeorras, the region of Galicia, as well as in Madrid, we had extremely high and devastating forest fires. Here we can see data that was retrieved from the Meteorological Center in Madrid, which are documenting temperature variations that have been registered during the past 100 years by the various meteorology sites. We can observe here randomness as an indicator of the high temperature variability that we have been experiencing during the last 100 years. The next slide explains the climate regions that were used as a basic spatial unit for analyzing the spatial diversity of frequency area statistics of wildfires. As we can see, the blue areas are the least likely places where forest fires should be initiated. But last year we had some forest fires in that region, as well as in the region of Valencia. The lightest area shows the driest area are the most propense to forest fires. The climate regions are divided in Mediterranean continental, Mediterranean coast, Mediterranean mountain, oceanic, and mountain. The following graphs were provided by the European Environmental Agency pertaining the likelihood of forest fires, the actual forest fires, and the expected changes to be seen in the next 20 years as a result of the rising of the earth temperature and the extreme temperatures and forest fires. This particular graph, the first one that we're seeing a comparative analysis between all of the different forest fires that we have been experiencing in Europe for the last 30 years. This next graph, which was also provided by the European Environmental Agency, shows us the seasonal severity rating of the average differences between 1961 and 1990, and then a comparison of how we are going to be expected to see the regional area between 2071 to 2100. If we can see, the areas of Spain are shown in red, in which we are seeing a scenario of an FW scale of over 20 and an SSR scale of over 10, which shows increased dryness and extremely high temperatures. These are the projected changes in precipitation for the next also 50 years or so, in which we can see the projected analysis of the areas and how much of a heating increment is going to happen in Spain and the whole European southern Mediterranean region within the next 50 years. This next slide also projects the ozone ground level percentages in 2010. As we can see, having over 140 in the areas of the southern France, northern part of Italy, and Spain has a significant amount between 120 and 140, also as well as Portugal. As we know, ozone is a ground level pollutant which in high concentrations becomes a health hazard. Another important indicators are animals, and we can see that here we took a graph of the birds to show how the biodiversification of the bird population in Europe is decreasing significantly, where the light pink one is for the common farmland animals, the purple one is for the common forest birds, and the green one is to all common birds. Crop changes. Who will survive? This is a very significant argument in which we have to say that in order for us to become active members of the community, we must become citizens that that are climate knowledgeable, so we can actually know what will be the changes that will be produced over time. Therefore, to become active in all levels of policy relevance is absolutely important. As responsible citizens, we must become aware of what actions we should take at our local level to mitigate these environmental risk factors and contribute to the assessment of biodiversity conservation policies, land use policy, as well as overarching factors such as climate changes within the local community and what kind of measures and policies is the European Commission taking and doing at this time. Another thing that we should also have in mind is that we have to become citizens that are biodiversity relevant. Birds and butterflies can be excellent barometers of health of the environment. They occur in many habitats and can reflect changes in other animals and plants, and are sensitive to environmental change. Be educated. Follow the data provided by the sources like the European Environmental Agency, like the one that I just showed you before, and observe your environment. What things can we do to mitigate the downfall of the present bird population, for example? Monitor progress towards toward target. Measure progress at your local community. Follow reports progress towards the projected environmental targets. Different crops demand different conditions and grow successfully. If temperature rises, then some crops may become harder to cultivate and may have to be replaced with different ones more suited to the new environment. Also, living organisms, farm animals, are likely to respond to changes in temperature and climate. They might adapt or they might migrate to experience more acceptable conditions. If species are unable to adapt or migrate and conditions become inhospitable, they will become extinct. Citizen literacy is essential. As per to the data presented above, Spain is undergoing some dynamic changes in climate, resulting in rising of temperatures, leading to decreasing precipitation levels, also leading to dryness in vegetation, and therefore increased wildfires have been a cause of elimination a lot of the existing forest lands, increasing the factors for desertification as presented by the data provided by the European Environmental Agency. It is essential that climate literacy becomes available to all citizens who can understand what is happening so that community actions can be initiated at the local level, community, regional levels, and national levels to monitor government intervention to avoid any environmental crisis as the result of this present natural phenomenon. The neglect of educating the public can result in further problems as a result of changes in the land, agriculture sustainability, and further complications related to export of national products, and other bystanding factors related to changes in the earth that can produce climate variability. This is Lucia reporting from Spain. Thank you very much. Have a great day.